MH Podcast. Listen now.
I am standing before the two lions that guard the entrance to the home of Sri Krishna, Balarama, and Subhadra in the city of Berkeley, California. Up and down this tree-lined street are old houses and a sense of stillness. This is an American campus town, and some neighborhoods, I suppose, tend to reflect the calm of what is called a life of the mind. I first stood on the street 40 years ago. One evening in the summer of 1981, my mother and I visited this temple. I was then about 12 years old. Coming to America on a holiday was the biggest thing that had happened in my life. And the biggest thing I thought I would see in America was Disneyland or a giant shop like Toys R Us. What I had not expected to find at all was this temple in Berkeley, chanting the name of our Krishna. The ISKCON temple of Berkeley has become my anchor in all sorts of unexpected ways. When I first visited here in 1981, I never imagined that one day, 20 years later, I would end up getting a job as a professor in the Bay Area and then living for a while very near this temple too. And in those strange times after September 11, 2001, as America confronted terrorism and fear, it was to this temple that I would come, a new kid in town, bewildered and uncertain, sure to find the comfort of Krishna's presence and that of his devotees. As a kid, this temple seemed to me a curiosity, a surprise. As an adult, this temple has become now a symbol, not only of the bond that unites Bhagavan and Bhakta, but also of the more mundane manifestations of his Leela. This temple since then has become for me the face of American Hinduism. Sure, other temples have come up since then all over America, and other Hindus have come too, thousands of us each year. Students, visitors, workers. Yet, what was planted here by Srila Prabhupada long ago seems to be a promise that is only beginning to be fulfilled. In 1981, when I saw a group of non-Indian Hindus with their orthodox saffron robes and hairstyles, I was puzzled. Now, in this world of change and flux and constant globalization, they don't seem so strange at all. After all, what is skin color or accent before the love, the splendor, the beauty and truth that is you, Krishna? It is all you, is it not? In 2019, we went to this temple more often than usual. There was a tribute concert to George Harrison, the Bharatiya Beatle, if I may call him that. There was also a puppet show, I think. There was always food, the legendary ISKCON vegetarian prasadam. And then there was also one thing that was really special that year, that moment, Tulsi. Krishna loves Tulsi, Tulsi loves Krishna. On one visit to the temple after the Tulsi Puja, our enthusiastic Archaka almost beat us with the twig. A funny cross-cultural encounter of Indian worshippers and Western priests. But in 2019, it wasn't just the Tulsi leaf that was on our minds at the temple, but a person named Tulsi. Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard's photo, a small one, was put up on a shelf in the lobby. Somehow, all of it seemed to convey so much hope. That was then. This is now 2021. Krishnashtami has just passed. Even as this country we hoped for and worked for all our lives has found itself in one of its most abject, pathetic, morally, politically, intellectually derelict lows ever. The last face of America as a once powerful nation disappeared into the cold Kabul night sky. Once, that sky, that city, that land knew the name of Krishna too. For 1,000 years after its fall, a few who knew Krishna by his name had stayed there still until finally it ended. What is this world with all its wars and sufferings and empires that rise and fall? What secrets whispered by Krishna are known to the silent leaves on the suburban sky? When Srila Prabhupada and the first generation of Hare Krishnas began this temple, America was fleeing from Vietnam. 4 decades later, the same madness has played out all over again. Great wars, great weapons of war, great merchants of war. But the warriors, the noble braves who will set the path right for Dharma, Krishna and his Arjunas, where are they now? In the years since COVID and the lockdown, we have come to the temple many times. We do not go in, but offer our pranams from outside. Someday soon, masked and impeccably waxed and all that, perhaps we'll return slowly to that illusion we call normal. For now, I listen to the silence of this place, this time, when nothing is normal anymore, and wonder about the mystery of place. Why here? Why now? Why did Krishna bring me here when I was 12? Why did he bring me back? What does he plan for me now? For all of us, really. I look around at the busy road this quiet street intersects, the legendary Telegraph Avenue. A few blocks away is the famous University of California, the dream destination of so many Indian students and parents. So much history has passed in and around that campus too. In the famous Moe's bookstore is a large framed photo of a helicopter tear-gassing anti-war demonstrators in the 60s. Berkeley was famous for being against war and materialism, and for being a place of inquiry, creativity, even spirituality. No wonder our Krishna chose this city, maybe. And yet, as my uncle who brought me to see this temple in 1981 once said, everything great and everything terrible in American society has come out of Berkeley. I think of not just the superficial trends and fashions people mock about Berkeley, but the most berserkly thing of all, how this anti-war symbol turned into a pro-terrorism citadel, normalizing the propaganda of the so-called South Asia studies, looking the other way as Talibans and their generals prepare to relaunch their unending grudges and holy wars. Berkeley, Berkeley, South Asia University, going to try and dismantle global Hindutvam this month, I'm told. I turn back with a burdened smile from the madness down the road behind its ivory towers and look at Krishna's lions once again. They seem to share my pain and my joke. What fear ultimately when Krishna is here? I stood right here outside this temple exactly 20 years ago, September 2001, my first semester in San Francisco. The world seemed to have ended. Terrorism had come to America. The skies over Berkeley were so blue then. Now the skies are less blue. The smoke from the wildfires has put us in a haze. The political situation here is even more bizarre. We mocked Bush and then got Obama. We mocked Trump and now got Biden. America, Afghanistan, Bharat, Berkeley. And in all this great bewilderment, a moment's peace of earth, a sthanam, Krishna's prasadam, to stand and with these words, dear friends, perhaps to somehow quietly understand. Dushta nissesha samhara karmodyatam, hrushta pushtati shishta praja samshrayam, prinayamo vasudevam, devata mandala khanda mandanam. Jai Sri Krishna.
MH Podcast. Listen now.